In terms of matches they played, 2 finals, of course. 1 in China, 1 in Belfast. And he won at the Masters. Trump beat him at the UK Championship. But this is a slightly different one in terms of Trump's already qualified, so the pressure's off him a little bit. Wilson 2 points out of 3, in good shape overnight, but looking to make sure, of course, he finishes in the top 4. And who knows, Stephen Allworth, this could be the final tonight.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if it was, wouldn't it? 2 of the players of the season, no question about it. World number 1, world number 2, the world champion. A brilliant matchup. And I think regardless of the table standings currently in this group, if they were both on 0 points, they'd really want to win this game still. Just that competitiveness within them. And if it does go to be the final later on this evening, they want some positive memories to draw back on. Try and land an early scalp now. A bit of a body blow.
Yeah, they're both acutely aware of the abilities of the other. It's a fascinating rivalry, which has become more of one, obviously, since Wilson won the World Championship. Now then, he's already going for a big shot, or is he? He was thinking of the black, but he'll just step back.
Green ball.
Saw him earlier, looks refreshed, I think, towards the end last night, and he wasn't the only one. It was a long day. You know, safety play was abandoned, wasn't it? Everyone was going for everything, but that can happen after a long day here. It's a new day. It's the biggest day, of course, of all, the final day. Yeah, Wilson sort of half bowed his head there, didn't he? He knew he'd left that on. They left it on, it was still a great pot.
Yeah, I just wonder if the cue ball slightly deviated when Kyren played the safety shot, because there was no way that it'd have ever left that red for Judd Trump. You don't want to leave any professional player that type of shot, never mind the world number 1. He eats that type for breakfast. Cue ball must have just travelled left as it was approaching the green. But yeah, Kyren, he certainly wanted to get out of here last night, didn't he? You could see, and that's understandable. Long weekend, lifting the German Masters title. Straight to Leicester. Today's a new day, though, as you say, and there's no doubt he'll be up for it. It's another trophy, potentially, to get hold of later on this evening.
Yeah, he was just practicing before play began. You'd think he's played enough snooker of late, but he's a great preparer, as Trump is as well. You know, they do everything right coming into these matches, these tournaments. Well, he got a lot of action on the white, too much, actually. And although he has qualified, he won't want to give Wilson any presents, for sure, not least if they do meet again later, either in the semis or the final. So Trump's not going to be playing any sort of wild shots, I wouldn't have thought. Well, he didn't quite get in behind the green there.
Yeah, it's quite surprising, actually, because it was a big target. We're just concerned that he might have caught the knuckle of the corner pocket, but he's left the red on for Kyren. Ooh, very close. Now he needs help from the blue.
Well, he certainly had a long day yesterday, but it was productive. The first match 3-1 over Si Jiahui. Then, of course, he was 2-0 down in a couple of matches. He beat Mark Selby. He beat Zhang Guodong. Finally saw off Hossein Vafai, who made it 2 each, winning a respot frame. Links these two, apart from being brilliant players, they just want to win all the time. Doesn't matter whether it's, you know, the World Championship final or a group of the Championship League. It's all snooker.
7.
Between them, they've won over £2 million on the World Snooker Tour this season already, with some big tournaments, including the biggest of all still to come. Trump's at about 1.3, and Wilson is approaching $750,000.
It's amazing, really, those figures. I think back to when I first got on the professional tour back in 2014, and it was only in your wildest dreams to see someone earn £1 million in a year.
Well, when Barry Hearn took over World Snooker Tour in 2010, the total prize money for the whole tour was about $3 million. These two have won over 2 between them.
It's incredible, and I still think snooker is so far away from where it can potentially be. The game's growing all the time, and you just think in 10 years' time we could be sat here, you know, talking in the tens of millions. Who knows? The opportunities are growing all the time.
Yeah, and these two, you know, can play a big part in taking that forward. Both in their 30s. Obviously, some of the older players are getting older. That's just a fact. And we saw at the Masters, the class of '92 didn't really play much of a role in that tournament, but it was still a massive success. But of course, these two have got to be wary of the younger players coming through, particularly from outside the UK, China, various other places.
Yeah, I think Kyren and Judd are certainly going to take the game to new levels for sure. And you can just see that they like the thought of having that role upon themselves to take the game and grow it. You saw Kyren in Berlin at the weekend, you know, how he conducted his walk-on, getting the crowd involved, you know, trying to create some iconic scenes at the snooker. That's what it's all about, you know, the fan interaction. The game's got to grow somehow, and it's all about the fan enjoyment as well. Going to bigger venues, bringing in different sort of people to watch the snooker. It's all part of the growth.
It's a good point, and I think that both players understand that. Trump, you know, will play the exhibition snooker as well to get people talking. They don't just think it's up to someone else to magically make snooker bigger. Anyway, he's just running out of open reds here. Well, he ended up catching the jaws of the middle pocket there and just threw the cue ball off. So, with a 37-point lead.
And he's already had a little look at this pack. He needs to be careful he doesn't push anything over this left corner pocket. There's no obvious plants available.
Judd, 31.
Now I just wonder if playing safe off that pack has pushed 2 reds closer to a plant to this left corner, or if the red in open play is obstructing it. And there you see, nothing to be made there. Just trying to swing the cue ball around, top cushion in between the reds, back to balk. It's quite a big target now. In the centre of that balk cushion. Can Judd find it? Try and cut off anything down the right side. It's a good line. A very good pace as well. Just try and force Kyren at something down this left side where there's more traffic.
So Wilson gets a scoring chance. 37 behind. Didn't start too promisingly for him yesterday. He was on table 2. He lost 3-0 to Zhang Guodong, and you think, well, maybe he's a little bit flat and exhausted after Germany, but then he bounced back to beat Matt Selt 3-0. And then in the evening, he beat Si Jiahui 3-2. That was the match where safety play seemed to be outlawed towards the end.
One.
Won the ranking event version in 2020, and then later that season, 2021, did the double, winning this invitation event as well.
Seven. Nine.
Just having to work off the blue now for the time being. Pink and black a little bit out of the way. Should get himself within touching distance of Trump by the end of this visit.
10.
Whether or not he wins the frame here and now is yet to be seen, but seems quite a difficult challenge to do that. Quite a messy table.
Fifteen.
Well, choosing to play for the more difficult black purely because there's a red near this top cushion that he can play onto. Means he doesn't need to do anything with this, just give everything to the pot. Dead weight it down the rail.
$23.
He'll have looked at position of the balls on this table, Kyren. He'll have in the back of his mind he'd like to get the pink removed from the brown at some point, if he can.
24.
Because currently, green to brown is virtually impossible, it seems.
$31.
Pink was out the way. That's what he's looking at here. Pink was out the way. He could pop the green down the rail from the yellow. Not have to move the cue ball too far, which makes the pot easier. The brown would be waiting. Interesting to see how Kyren goes about this.
32.
That cue ball just hasn't travelled on, so change of plan. You now can't remove the brown or the pink.
$38.
Well, this really would be some clearance now.
45.
Quite straight on this yellow. Sure if he can even get close to that green. Oh, well, that's one way to try.
47.
Yeah, well, I suppose at least from Trump's perspective, he's not on the green. So 10 points in the opening frame, it's already tight.
Wilson, 47.
Just seemed very unlikely that he was going to win the frame there. It was all about the brown and pink. Had Kyren have been able to get on a red in such a way to pot one of them, it might have been a chance, but not to be, so be a close finish to this opening frame. Good shot from Trump. Very close to getting in behind that black. Kyren needs to be careful here playing the swerve. Doesn't push the green over a corner pocket. He has left it. Although position to the brown is not straightforward. They have to play this really, really slowly. Unless he's going round the angles. Made the pot so much more difficult. Played it well in the end. It was only the pot that was missing.
Amazing how often the gap gets left. It was initially by Wilson, it has now been by Trump. Just a reminder, it's CGR we Matsell on table 2. Got 4 players, both of those included on 1 point overnight. Matchroom Multisports YouTube channel has table 2 all day.
It's a good shot from Kyren. Solid enough hit to the green ball. Meant that he could get distance between them. Purposefully playing the cue ball with backspin to try and hold it as well. It's also a good shot from Trump. Choosing to go cushion first, controlling the line and the pace. just wonder if Trump can play a tight snooker in behind this black. Stun the cue ball. No, couldn't see enough of it. Again, trying to get up in behind that pink and brown. Good attempt. May have just crept in far enough. Well, the pot to middle is on. But to get nicely on the brown into the yellow pocket, maybe going close to the right middle pocket with the cue ball. Which is why he's decided against it. I think there he was purely playing just for the 3 points. And at the pace he would have had to play it, risked missing the green, so again, playing the percentages.
Yeah, over 2 million between them this season, but this is how much they want, 200 quid. Yeah, it's great to see, actually. You know, this is another professional title up for grabs today, and another edge on the rivalry. If one of them wins it, obviously one of the other players in the group could win it, but be surprised if at least one of these two weren't in the final later.
Well, at the minute, the run of the ball is slightly favouring Kyren. It's not the first time he's attempted something and not left anything easy for Trump. You're just having to play the patient game. If you can play this thin clip to the right corner pocket as a shot to nothing, try and get plenty of right-hand side on the cue ball, swing it round, get in behind the pink. Put it a little too thin. Slightly thicker, and I'm sure he would have got the snooker in behind either pink or brown. At least the green has gone safe, though.
Feels like they've been a long time on this green. Trump is the one, of course, he could if he wanted to sort of start going for them, but because he's qualified already. But as I say, he doesn't want to give Wilson any more of an edge, or indeed help him along in terms of getting into the playoffs.
Good shot this from Kyren. Great line. Great pace. Such a nice shot to play that when you're swinging it round. It's such a big target to get in behind. You're playing for that area of the table, but if you hit it nicely. As soon as you strike it, you know if it's going to go close. Would have felt good as soon as he struck it. And now Trump's turn to try and get some form. And he's had it.
Just the faintest little raise of the hand there, yeah, the double kiss. Could be in trouble again, though. What a battle this is on this green.
Yeah, at the minute, Kyren doesn't need that black, so it's pretty much a green ball frame for him, he probably feels. Can pot the green, go close to having a shot at the brown, and then just the blue needed. Again, it's ran quite awkward, that, for Kyren. Very, very thin clip to the middle, and the cue ball is racing away from the brown. Could have been a lot easier, this. Judd's turn to have the run of the ball. Not really much value in Kyren potting this green to the middle pocket. As I say, the cue ball will be side cushion, baulk cushion, back down towards the black. Well, he won't be pleased with that. Not one bit. This green is available. Okay, it's awkward cueing from the jaws of the corner pocket.
Three.
Well, that is superb.
Yeah, what a wonderful pot from Judd Trump. And he doesn't need the black either. He needs up to including the pink. So he won the battle on the green.
7.
That was always looking likely to be key to this frame. Pink it is to take it. What a start to the day then, and it is Judd Trump who wins a dramatic opening frame. Just double checking he didn't need that black. And indeed he's 8 in front. So Judd Trump leads Kyren Wilson 1-0.